Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about semantic. So these are some topics in semantic that we are going to discuss. So we start from what is the meaning of semantic. So semantic is the study of meaning in language or understanding the meaning in a deeper way. So semantic is a study of meaning that is used to understand human expression through language. So next, why do we have learn semantic? It is important for us? Okay, of course it is important. Not only for English major that need to learn about semantic, but for everyone. So it is good lesson because it really help us to understand the meaning and avoid misunderstanding. The purpose of semantics is to propose exact meanings of words and phrases and remove confusion which might lead the readers to believe a word has many possible meanings. It makes a relationship between a word and the sentence through their meanings. So this is why we have to learn semantic. Okay, so here there are three disciplines that concern with the systematic study of meaning in itself. There are three disciplines. First is psychology or psychologists. Second, philosophy or philosophers. And third is linguistic or linguists. So start from psychologists. Psychologists are interested in how individual humans learn. So it means that how they retain, recall, or lose information, or how they classify, make judgment, and solve problems. Or in other words, how human mind seek meanings and works with them. Okay, next is philosophy or philosopher. Philosopher of language are concerned with how humans know. So it means that how any particular fact that we know or accept as true is related to other possible facts. And the last is linguists. So linguists are what to understand how language works. So it means that just what common knowledge do two people possess when they share a language. So when they have different language or talk in different language, how can they understand each other? Okay, next, semantics focuses on the relation between signifiers like words, phrases, signs, symbols, and what they stand for denotation. So early in life, every human acquires the essentials of language, a vocabulary and the pronunciation, use or function and meaning of each item in it. So and henceforth we have to have semantic knowledge. So what is semantic knowledge? So semantic knowledge is organized such that it affords meaningful and adaptive inferences. Next, so here we are going to learn about connotative meaning and denotative meaning. So this is the way we understand meaning, connotative and denotative meaning. First, let's see the picture. As you see this picture, what does it symbolize, or what meaning does this symbol carry? Yes, from the picture we can see we can find the connotative meaning and denotative meaning. But first of all, you need to know what is connotative and denotative meaning. So, connotative meaning is the real meaning, and denotative is the symbol meaning. So, example, as you can see on the slide, connotative of this object is a red rose with green stem, right? So, that is what you see. This is a rose with a green stem. So this is called connotative meaning, the real meaning. And then next is denotative meaning. So denotative meaning is the symbol. So let's see from this picture. This rose is a symbol of what? What do you think? I think this rose is a symbol of passion and compassionate, right? So this is example of connotative and denotative meaning. Next, we come out to language in use. So language in use refers to the communicative meaning of particular language, and it focuses on the rules of structure and language meaning. A language is a symbol of a system of symbols through which people communicate. So the symbols may be spoken, written, or signed with the hands. It is a complex system of symbols or signs that are shared by members of community. And here there are two non-linguistic signs that we have to consider in order to know how to direct to them. So let's see the difference between natural and conventional signs. Okay, first, natural signs. No human senders, just human receiver. And people are less concerned with natural signs. On the other side, for conventional signs, human senders and also humans receiver, and people are more concerned with conventional signs. So, example for natural signs is smoke. When we see smoke, smoke around. So when we see smoke around us, what springs to mind? I think suddenly we will run as far as possible because we feel so scared, right? So, smoke, it signifies that there is a fire, maybe. Okay, and for conventional signs, I choose bell. So, we live in campus, right? And we often heard a bell. Especially for me, I live in campus, and I often heard a bell. So when I heard a bell, I will go to the cafeteria or I will go to sleep. It means that the bell signifies that it's time to eat and it's time to sleep. So here, let's see to the similarity. Natural signs and conventional signs do not use language. So that is why they are called non-linguistic signs, because they natural signs and conventional signs do not use language. Okay, next, linguistic science. So the science above are non-linguistic science, natural science and conventional science. And now we are going to talk about linguistic science. So we also learn about linguistic science. So let's read. Words are linguistic science. So linguistic science is all the words. And words go together to form sentences which has turn are capable of conveying meaning. So as a listener, don't just listen, but we have to observe the speaker. What the intention of the speaker from the words that we hear. Okay, next topic, the dimensions of meaning. So anything meaningful in language is a linguistic expression without the dimension of meaning. So without the dimension of meaning, this life can become very difficult for us to endure. And do not ever think that one word only have one meaning. We have to recognize several meanings of a word. Some pieces of a language refer to something real and outside of language. So throughout this topic we will learn the 3 units of meaning. So here there are three units of meanings. Let's see. First is morphemes. So morphemes refers to the smallest unit of meaning a word can be broken down into. So we can see on the slide the example: flower, flowers, and flowers, it can be broken into flower and s. Means that it carries more than one meaning. So let's see. When only flower, we write only flower without s in backside, means only one flower. But when the flower with s in the backside, means there are more than one flower. So there are two meaning in one word. Flowers, flower, only one flower. And when at s in the backside, it means that there are more than one flower. So next, lexemes. Okay, so lexemes refers to a single word and all of its forms. So example, we can see on the slide, go. So go is the single word that we use, go, and it forms there is going, when, and can. Next is sentence. So sentence meaning is a pivotal component of a general account of linguistic meaning. So the meaning of a sentence derives from the meaning of its constituent lexemes and from the grammatical meaning. And sentence also we can call it as statement. So a sentence is statement. And let's see the example. Rennie opened the door. So Rennie opened the door. So do not ever think that one word has one meaning. We have to recognize several meanings of a word. Some pieces of language refer to something real and outside of language. Okay, next we come out to utterances and sentences. Okay, so here we are going to know what is the definition of sentence and utterances. So sentence is not a physical event or physical object. It means that it is construction of words in a particular time and place and involving at least one person. For example, please put this book in the room. Put this book in the room. Next is utterances. An utterance is an act of speech or writing. So, for example, in the room. So, an utterance is an act of speech or writing. It means that it is a specific event, or a physical event at a particular time and place and involving at least one person also. So, why we distinguish between sentence and utterance? Because it is important to recognize what meanings are communicated to us in a language and which meanings we derive from the context in which language is used. And the second is because it is important to distinguish between linguistic meaning, what is communicated by particular pieces of language, and utterance meaning, what a certain individual mean by saying such and such in a particular place at a particular time and the certain of individuals. Okay, now let's see speaker and sentence meaning. Speaker meaning versus sentence meaning. So, speaker meaning and sentence meaning are both important. There is a gap between speaker meaning and sentence meaning. The gap between speaker meaning and sentence meaning is such that it is even possible for speaker to convey a quiet, intelligible intention by using a sentence whose literally meaning is contradictory or nonsensical. So, let's see the example. Arg, this assignment is killing me. When you read this sentence, it's really happened that the assignment killing us. I mean, the assignment can kill us. What do you think? And then I could eat a horse. Really, you can kill a big horse? Of course not. So this is a speaker meaning. So the meaning of the speaker from the example number 1, assignment is killing me. It means that the assignment is very, very difficult. So make the speaker stress and others. And then I could eat a horse. It means that the speaker tell us that he or she really hungry, very hungry, like that. So next is example of sentence meaning. This assignment is very difficult. A red light means stop. So this is sentence meaning. Of course, assignment is very difficult. It means that yes, the assignment is very difficult. And then a red light means stop. So this is the sentence meaning. Okay, comprehension is not just talking in words or even sense group. As listener, we have to grasp the prior knowledge or background information to interpret the message. Okay, next, lexical relations. Okay, here, first we need to know what is lexical. So, you can see on the slide, lexical semantics is the study of word meaning. It is the branch of linguistics which focuses on the systematic study of word meaning. So, lexical relation is a concept of organizing related words and expression into a system which shows their relationship to one another. So, lexical relation, and that show their relationship to one another. So, there are kinship, there are hyponym, synonym, antonym, derivational, and a derivational relation. So, a lexical semantics involves the coding of words meaning, including semantic features. For instance, animate, object, action that also have implication for grammatical use. Can come out to next is a semantic role. So words are not just a container of meanings. They fulfill different roles within the situation describe a sentence. Okay, and these are some the semantics roles. There are agent, theme, location, argument, and valency. So, in semantic role, we'll learn about the role of the word in sentence. Words are described according to the roles they fulfill with the situation described in sentence. Okay, let's see. First is agent. So what is agent? Agent is the subject that performs the action, like the doer maybe. So, for example, the man paint the wall. So let's see, who is the agent? So the agent is the man, and the action is paint. So the man paint the wall. So the agent is man. Next is the cat bit the kid. So the agent is the cat. And what action that the cat do is beat the kid. So although the agent are typically human like man, but they can also be non-human, human versus like machines and creatures. It can be also animal like cat. So this is agent. Next, theme. So what is theme? Theme is the entity that is involved in or affected by the action. So let's see the example. The man paint the wall. So let's see, the theme of this sentence is wall. Why the wall? Because the wall is affected by the action of the man, because the man is paint the wall. The action of the man is paint. The theme can be human, representing the doer of an action. Okay, next is location. Okay, location. What is location? Location is a place where the action happens. Okay, so for example, the man paint the wall at home. The man paint the wall at home. So I'm sorry, on the slide you can see is action. I'm typo. Actually, I should write on the slide location, not action. Okay. So in this sentence, the word at home shows the location. The locations of where the man paint the wall. Okay. And next is argument. Okay. What is argument? Argument is very preposition, contains one predicate and a varying number of referring expressions. So, predicates may be a verb, an adjective, a preposition, or a noun phrase. Okay, next is valency. Valency. So, valency is a theory. So, what is valency theory? Valency theory is a description of the semantic potential of predicates in terms of the number and types of arguments which may co-occur with them. So there are three: valency 0, valency 1, and valency 2. A sentence may have valency of 0, 1, and 2. And let's see from valency 0. So valency 0 refers to the predicates that has no particular subject. So let's see the example. It is raining. It is raining. So the subject of this sentence is what? So the subject is okay. Next is valency. So valency is a theory. And what is valency theory? You can see on the slide, valency theory is a description of the semantic potential of predicates in terms of the number and types of arguments which may co-occur with them. So let's start from valency 0. Valency 0 refers to the predicate that has no particular subject. Okay, for example, it is raining. It is raining. So the subject of this sentence is it, but it doesn't name anything, doesn't correspondence to anything in the underlying preposition. Okay. Next is valency 1. Valency 1 is one argument predicates, contains verb that has a subject or one subject but no object. So valency 1 means have one argument. For example, the baby cried. The baby cried. So valency 1 have three types actually: affected, and even, theme and description, and theme and identity. Next to valency 2. So valency 2 is the sentence expresses in action by one entity which gives affected to another entity. So valency 2 means have or has two argument. Okay? So for example, the cat killed the rat. Okay? Let's see. So the cat is the first argument in the sentence. Okay? And the role of first argument, or the role of this, is as an actor. Okay? And killed as the predicate, and the role of the predicate is the action of the cat, and the rat is the second argument. Okay, the second argument. So the role of the second argument is affected. Okay, so Follows the two have four types actually. First is actor. Actor plus action plus affected. And second is action plus add action and add place or effect. And third is action plus place. And the last is affecting plus affected plus affected. Affect plus affected. Okay. Okay, next to sentence and preposition. Okay, let's start from the definition. So, sentences are more knowable than thoughts. So, sentence is an expression of a complete thought. And second is preposition. So, prepositions are object of thoughts. So, preposition is a statement that can be either true or false. The true prepositions are most likely correspond to facts, and false prepositions do not correspond to the fact. So, in learning semantics, we should have the ability to analyze meaning of non-sentence, such as phrases or incomplete sentences. And in order to have accurate analysis, we should understand the whole sentence by involving preposition. Because why? Because prepositions are parts of meanings. So the thing that we need to notice that the description of a sentence is a syntactic analysis. Syntactic analysis deals with the sentence structure, and then the description of a preposition is a semantic analysis. We call semantic analysis. So semantic analysis deals with meaning the preposition expressed in the sentence. Okay. So let's see for the example. You can see on the slide there are 3 example sentence pair. Let's see for number 1. Maria puts on her sweater. B. Maria puts the sweater on. Second, Marco took out the garbage. And B. Marco took the garbage out. And the last is Martha loves Marco. B. Marco loves Martha. So, why number 1 and number 2 is yes? Is yes. And number 3 is no, because the pair with yes, number 1 and 2. Okay, next let's start from the definition of generic and specific predicates. So, generic aspect contains statements about things that we don't expect to change. And for example, 2 and 2 make 4. Of course, it falls if I say 2 and 2 make 5. So it is generic. All of us know that 2 and 2 make 4 because we learn it from in the school. So it is generic aspect. And then on the other hand, specific predicates aspect is about temporary states and it is bounded. For example, I have a headache. I have a headache. Okay, next is stative predicates and dynamic predicates. So stative predicates is typically derivative in aspect. So stative predication relates a situation to does not change during the time when the predication is valid. Like enjoy, fear, hate, want, wish, and wish. So for example, snow lay on the ground. Okay. Second is they discussed the plan. Okay, next is punctual and derivative aspect. So punctual aspect contains momentary actions or change a state. For example, they sat down in the last row. They sat down in the last row. So next derivative aspect contains unchanging state or continuing activity. Example, they were sitting in the last row. They were sitting in the last row. Okay. Next is the semantic of morphological relation. Okay, human language is alive. Everyday people add or change a word to express feelings and share jokes and maybe can encourage people and so forth. And we have to be knowledgeable the semantic relations that exist when a word is derived from another word. So let me see. Okay. First is verb derived from adjectives. We know that adjectives are typically stative predicates to describe a noun or a pronoun. So, in this concept, the verbs are derived from adjectives to show there are three: to show causative, inquisitive, and something is more. So, causative is to cause something into becoming something. For example, okay, just first for the definition. Okay, causative, to cause something into becoming something. Second is inquisitive. So to cause, inquisitive, to cause something not becoming something. And the last is something is more, to make something more. So let's see the example. First for causative example. I dried my shoes. So the word dry is originally an adjective. Dry. Dry. In the sentence, it becomes a verb to make the clothes to dry, and the clothes become dry. The second example for inquisitive, the doctor sterilized the tool. So the word sterilize is to sterile the tool, but not to make the tool become sterile. And the last is I widened my space so that I could work effectively. So the word wide is originally an adjective. In the sentence, it becomes a verb. It is used to make something wider. Okay, next, verbs derive from verbs. So in this concept, the verbs are derived from verbs. To show why, to show what? So there are three also. First, to show repetitive action. Second, to show a receive action. And the last, to detach or remove something. So to show repetitive action, we use prefix re. Okay, re. For example, rewrite, recapture, retell. Okay, repetitive action. Rewrite, recapture, and retell. Second, to show a receive action, we use prefix and, the, or this. So for example, unfold, detach, declassify, unpin, and so forth. And the last, to detach or remove something, we use prefix and, like for example, unmask, uncord, cork, unwrap, and so forth. Okay, next is adjective derived from verbs. So most adjectives that are derived from verbs are either adjective subjectives or passive objective. So another concept is a verb has two participle. The present participle with ing, use ing, is often an active subjective. And then the second is the past participle with ed in the backside. Let's see the example. The book is boring. So it is active subjective because I use ing, the present participle, because we know that the concept of verb is present participle and other is past participle, like I'm bored. You can see in the backside, use ed or past participle. Okay. Okay, next. Sorry. Adjective derived from nouns. So most English adjectives derived from nouns are descriptive. They show some characteristic associated with the underlying noun. So several distinct kinds of a relationship with the underlying noun are seen by adding suffix as, ish, and, li, and so forth. So for example, Bella is like a child. So this is from noun. And then become Bella is childish. Adjectives has form. So the sentence describes the behavior of Bella. Childish is equal to like a child. Okay. Next, noun derived from verbs. So noun derived from verbs are verbs that can represent some actions or used as a predicate. This predication becomes a term that shows act, becomes agent or instrument or tools of caring, becomes affected entity, designed product or result, and show place. So for example, arrive, arrival. Let's see. Arrive as a verb and arrival as a noun. Let's see the sentence. The bus arrived on time. The bus arrival is on time. So the verb refers to physical action, while the derived noun refers to act of the verb. Okay, next is nouns derived from adjective. These are simply the reification of the adjectives from which they are derived, a way of treating the quality as a thing. It is known as abstract nouns. For example, deep, depth, certain, certainty, warm, warmth, wise, become wisdom. Okay, next, nouns derive from nouns. So engine as a noun, let's see, for example, engine and engineer. Second is fish and fishery. So engine as a noun and engineer derive from noun. So here we can see that from a thing turned into a profession. Okay, let's see another example, like fish and fishery. So fish as what? As a noun, and fishery derived from noun. So we can see that from name of animal become a place to get a fish. Okay, we come up to the conclusion. So as we learned before, that semantic is the study of meaning in a language. So if we study a language, we must know what meaning is contained in that language, so that we understand and not misinterpret or misunderstanding the meaning in a language. For semantic learning or semantic lesson is very useful for all people, because people can know the exact meaning in a language, whether they hears the language, sees in the text, and also talks with other people. So I hope this semantic lesson can help you to understand about semantic more, and see you on the next video. Thank you.